I really don't know the words I can gather to say how I'm feeling right now. I'm so broken. I'm so broken. Nobody should have to experience what I'm feeling right now as a parent. It's been hard. It's been hard.
On August 23rd, 2025, 19-year-old Rose Thompson was last seen in Hyattsville, Maryland, after sending a final text message to her father at 11:50 p.m. Her white 2013 Ford Edge was later found abandoned near Riggs Road in Langley Park. Surveillance video captured her entering a black SUV before communication from her phone stopped. On August 31st, Maryland State Police discovered a body off Route 50 in Anne Arundel County while responding to an unrelated incident. The remains were confirmed to be Rose Thompson. Investigators traced the black SUV to a residence in Bowie, Maryland, where evidence indicated she had been killed. On September 5th, police arrested 35-year-old Hugo Hernandez Mendez and charged him with first and second-degree murder. The case remains under active investigation, with an autopsy pending and authorities urging the public to provide any additional information. Stay with us as we unravel this shocking story and uncover the heartbreaking details of what led to this senseless loss. Before we begin, let us know in the comments, where are you watching from? And what are your thoughts as the story unfolds? Welcome to True Crime Tales, where we reveal the crimes that shock communities and the secrets hidden behind closed doors. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Now, let's begin.
60 seconds with the car.
Alright, what's your hometown? Where you from?
Maryland.
Alright, where's your birthday?
August 8th.
Alright, what's your favorite color?
Pink.
Okay, what's your dream occupation?
Real estate.
Ooh, I like that. Okay.
On September 5th, 2025, authorities confirmed the death of 19-year-old Rose Thompson, who had been missing since August 23rd, 2025. Her case began as a disappearance in Prince George's County, Maryland, and has now developed into a homicide investigation. On August 31st, Maryland State Police located a body in a grassy area off Route 50 in Anne Arundel County while responding to an unrelated incident involving a disabled vehicle. That body has since been confirmed as Rose Thompson. An autopsy is pending with the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner in Baltimore. While the formal cause and manner of death are not yet released, law enforcement officials have publicly stated that they expect the death to be ruled a homicide. This confirmation shifted the investigation from a missing person search into a criminal case. The disappearance of Rose Thompson was initially traced through surveillance footage collected in Prince George's County. According to police, video evidence captured her on August 23rd, 2025, in Hyattsville, Maryland. She was seen parking her white 2013 Ford Edge SUV and later walking toward Riggs Road. Additional footage showed Rose approaching and entering a black SUV early that morning. This vehicle was a critical lead in the investigation. Detectives later traced the SUV to a residence in the 12,000 block of Cambridge Drive in Bowie, Maryland. Cellular data provided further support. Rose Thompson's phone pinged in that same area before all communication stopped. Law enforcement obtained and executed a search warrant at the Bowie residence. Inside, they recovered evidence indicating that Rose had been killed in one of the bedrooms. This marked a significant shift in the case from a disappearance to a suspected homicide.
Thompson was killed inside of a house on Cambridge Drive in Bowie, Maryland.
Rafael Sanchez Cruz has been covering the investigation there. Rafa, you spoke to the accused killer's cousin and learned some insight into how this arrest all played out.
Yeah, Lorenzo, Annie, this is a really layered case. So let me walk you through it. Yesterday, investigators executed a search warrant at this home right behind me. But today, there were federal agents back here to arrest a different man. Now, the cousin of Hugo Hernandez Mendez tells me that they found blood inside her cousin's bedroom, that blood belonging to Dacara Thompson.
It's in the side bedroom of this Bowie home where investigators say Dacara Thompson was killed. I never thought a family member would do something like that. We are distraught. The cousin of Hugo Hernandez Mendez agreed to speak only if her face was not shown. We will call her Maria. She says her cousin, an immigrant from Guatemala, lived with her family and other relatives, but recently she rarely saw him and his behavior changed.
It's very unfortunate that we have to live in a society where predators are always lurking.
Neighbors are still in shock.
I just felt that there was a need for me to come out and extend my condolences to the family.
Oh my goodness, it's connected.
Tracy Franklin says Maryland State Troopers visited her home as part of the investigation.
I am very glad to see that coverage is happening and awareness of a young African-American woman missing, because a lot of times that doesn't happen.
Maria says her husband was also taken by investigators for questioning yesterday but was released. This morning, she says federal immigration agents were back at their home, this time for her husband, who is an undocumented immigrant from Mexico. They did not have an order for my husband or a warrant for me. They simply handcuffed him and took him. Maria insists her husband has nothing to do with the alleged crime. Her young children standing right next to her. She says her husband was taken despite his full cooperation in the criminal investigation. She has this message for Dakara's parents.
I
am a mother. I understand her mother and father. I have children. I hope God gives them strength through this difficult situation. I really lament that it was a family member of mine, my cousin. I am really sorry.
Yeah, we did reach out to ICE to know more details about the arrest of Maria's husband, but we have yet to hear back. Lorenzo, Annie, this community still processing this horrible tragedy. Back to you.
Heartbreaking conclusion. Raphael, thank you.
Following the discovery of evidence, investigators identified a suspect. On September 5th, 35-year-old Hugo Hernandez Mendez of Bowie, Maryland, was arrested. He has been charged with first-degree murder and second-degree murder in connection with the death of Rose Thompson. Hernandez Mendez is currently being held without bond at the Prince George's County Department of Corrections following an initial court appearance. Immigration officials have confirmed that Hernandez Mendez was living in the United States illegally. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, has filed a detainer request, meaning that if he were to be released from local custody, he would immediately be transferred into federal custody for immigration violations. Evidence recovered from the crime scene provided further confirmation of Rose Thompson's presence at the Bowie residence and the violent nature of the incident. Among the items collected were blood evidence inside the residence, confirmed to be consistent with Rose Thompson. A fingernail recovered at the scene matched the Rose through forensic analysis. A wig, consistent with one seen in the surveillance footage of Rose shortly before she disappeared. These items are being used as critical pieces of evidence in the ongoing prosecution of Hernandez Mendez. Law enforcement officials have publicly stated that the investigation is ongoing, but emphasize that they are committed to ensuring accountability in this case. Here's the charging documents in the case for Rose Thompson. Statement of probable cause continued. Arrest on traffic/natural resources/mass transit citations/criminal charges/municipal ordinances/public local laws, in which the hair color is consistent with the hairs, recovered from within the multiple trash bags, shortly before she got into black 2007 GMC Yukon XL, Denali bearing Maryland registration 6FM 8511. All of these items of evidentiary value were recovered by Crime Scene Investigations Division and will be stored at the Evidence Unit for safekeeping and further processing. On September 4th, 2025, detectives applied for and were granted a vehicle search warrant for black 2007 GMC Yukon XL, Denali bearing Maryland registration 6FM 8511. At approximately 1830 hours, investigators with the Crime Scene Investigations Division executed the vehicle search warrant along with detectives. A Blue Star blood test was conducted. Blue Star is a presumptive test designed to reveal fresh, dried, or clean blood, neat or diluted in trace or sizable amounts. This test operates by chemiluminescence. As a result of the test, a positive result was revealed for possible blood evidence on the passenger front seat. In summary, detectives know through multiple surveillance camera video footage and cellular location data that the decedent entered into a black 2007 GMC Yukon XL, Denali bearing Maryland registration 6FM 8511. Detectives know that the defendant is the only person who drives the black 2007 GMC Yukon XL, Denali bearing Maryland registration 6FM8511. The black 2007 GMC Yukon XL, Denali bearing Maryland registration 6FM8511, then travels to the area of 12606, Cambridge Drive, Bowie, Maryland, which coincide with the decedent's cellular device movements. The decedent is in this area on August 23, 2025, from 03:47 hours until the phone deactivates at 05:03 hours. On August 23, 2025, sexual intercourse is heard coming from the defendant's bedroom, which sounded as if someone was not enjoying it. The discovery of blood evidence recovered from the defendant's bedroom, along with the hair and the recovered fingernail consistent with that of the missing fingernail on the decedent's left middle finger, indicate to detectives that a physical altercation ensued within the defendant's bedroom. The discovery of the possible blood evidence recovered from the Blue Star test conducted in the black 2007 GMC Yukon XL, Denali bearing Maryland registration 6FM8511 indicates to detectives that the decedent was moved into the black 2007 GMC Yukon XL, Denali bearing Maryland registration 6FM8511 after the physical altercation. Further, the decedent was then located deceased with skull and facial fractures. Based on all of the above information, detectives believe that the defendant murdered the decedent in his bedroom located at 12606, Cambridge Drive, Bowie, Maryland, on the morning of August 23, 2025. Witness 2 further stated that after a period of time, it remembers all noises in the room ceasing and it being silent. Witness 2 then states that it falls asleep. Later that same day, after waking up, Witness 2 remembers walking outside of the residence on August 23, 2025, at approximately 1,200 hours, and observing the black 2007 GMC Yukon XL, Denali bearing Maryland registration 6FM8511 was not parked in front of the house. Witness 2 thought this was weird because it knows the defendant doesn't work on Saturdays, and that the black 2007 GMC Yukon XL, Denali bearing Maryland registration 6FM8511 should have been parked out front. Detectives spoke with Witness 3, whose identity is known to police, and Witness 4, whose identity is known to police, who advised that they had no recollection of August 23, 2025, and that they stay on the opposite side of the house from the defendant. A search of the residence 12606, Cambridge Drive, Bowie, Maryland was conducted in which multiple items of evidentiary value were recovered. Detectives located a bedroom in the front side of the residence. Detectives observed identifying documentation to include a social security card, identification cards, and work pay stubs belonging to the defendant. Upon visual inspection of the bedroom, multiple areas were observed with what appears to be suspected blood evidence. A phenolphthalein presumptive blood test was conducted on these areas with the suspected blood evidence, which yielded positive results. Suspected blood droplets were also observed on the defendant's mattress located in the bedroom. A white and pink fake French manicure-style fingernail was located on the floor of the bedroom. Detectives know that the decedent had white and pink fake French manicure-style fingernails when she was found deceased. Detectives also noted that when the decedent was found, she was missing the white and pink fake French manicure-style fingernail on her left middle finger. Detectives were able to review a photo of the decedent's white and pink fake French manicure-style fingernails and were able to identify that the nails in the photo are consistent with the nail recovered from the bedroom floor. Further, detectives recovered multiple pairs of women's underwear and lingerie. During the search, detectives observed 2 trash bins in the driveway area of the residence 12606, Cambridge Drive, Bowie, Maryland. Detectives opened the trash bins and observed multiple trash bags inside of them. Detectives searched the said trash bags and observed multiple identifying documents of individuals who live in the residence. A further search revealed a white napkin with suspected bloodstains on it. Mendez, H/MDOB, December 26, 1989, will hereafter be referred to as a defendant. At this time, the defendant was detained and transported to the Criminal Investigation Division Homicide Unit for further investigation. The black 2007 GMC Yukon XL, Denali bearing Maryland registration 6FM8511, was impounded by RYONS Towing and transported to the Prince George's Evidence Unit for further processing. detectives had the opportunity to interview the defendant. Detectives advised the defendant of his Miranda rights, at which time he freely and voluntarily waived his rights and elected to speak with detectives. The defendant advised detectives that on August 23, 2025, he was at the Galaxy nightclub. Let it be noted that detectives know that the Galaxy nightclub is located at 2301 University Boulevard, Hyattsville, Maryland. This location is directly across the street from where the decedent was observed entering into black 2007 GMC Yukon XL, Denali bearing Maryland registration 6FM8511. Furthermore, the defendant advised detectives that he was in possession of the black 2007 GMC Yukon XL, Denali bearing Maryland registration 6FM8511 on August 23, 2025, at approximately 0200 hours. The defendant advised he was supposed to meet his ex-girlfriend, but he never did. When detectives questioned further into the investigation, the defendant denied any involvement and asked detectives if he could have a lawyer. At that time, the interview ended. On September 4th, 2025, at approximately 0905 hours, a residential search warrant was conducted at 12606 Cambridge Drive, Bowie, Prince George's County, Maryland. Detectives made contact with multiple other occupants of the residence, whose names are known to police. All occupants of the residence were detained and transported to the Criminal Investigation Division Homicide Unit for further investigation. Detectives had the opportunity to interview the occupants of the residence. Detectives spoke with Witness 1, whose identity is known to police, who advised that it lives at the residence with its family, its cousin the defendant, and 2 other roommates. Witness 1 advised that the black 2007 GMC Yukon XL, Denali bearing Maryland registration 6FM8511 is registered to it, but its cousin, the defendant, is the only one who operates it. Witness 1 advised that its cousin, the defendant, has a drinking and drug problem. Detectives spoke with Witness 2, whose identity is known to police, whom advised that its room is right next to the defendant's room. Witness 2 advised on August 23, 2025, it recalled hearing the defendant having sex around 0500 hours. Witness 2 advised it could hear a grunting noise, which made it believe that someone was enjoying the sex. Prince George's County Police Department confirmed the arrests and charges in an official press release and press conference.
Good morning. First, I'd like to thank members of the media for showing sensitivity during the reporting of this case. We know there were questions that you had and questions that we couldn't answer due to the investigation being ongoing. On September 5th, detectives from the Prince George's County Police Department's Homicide Division developed probable cause to present charges for the murder of Dacara Thompson. This morning, criminal charges were issued for first-degree and second-degree murder. The facts of the case: 19-year-old Dacara Thompson was last seen on August the 22nd. She was reported missing the very next day. On August the 21st, her family located the vehicle in the area of Jasmine Terrace in Hyattsville, Maryland. On August 31st, what we believe to have been Dakara's body was located by the Maryland State Police Department in the area of eastbound Route 50 at Route 97. On August 23rd, in the area of University Boulevard in Hyattsville, Maryland, a short distance from her vehicle, at approximately 3 a.m. For reasons still under investigation, it appears that Dacara willfully entered a vehicle being driven by Hugo Rene Hernandez Mendez, 35-year-old male, out of Bowie, Maryland. Through investigative techniques and video review, detectives were able to track the vehicle's movement to an address on Kimber Ridge Drive in Bowie, Maryland. On September 4th, several search warrants were obtained and executed pertaining to this case, which led detectives to obtain enough probable cause to take Hugo Rene Hernandez Mendez into custody and present him to the court commissioner for the murder of Dacara Thompson. We believe the murder occurred in the home on Cambridge Drive in Hernandez's bedroom. Her body was taken to the location that it was recovered at by Hernandez. At this time, there are no additional suspects. However, this investigation is ongoing. Our thoughts and prayers are with her family during this time. Detectives from the Prince George's County Police Department's Missing Persons Unit were quickly joined by the Prince George's County Police Department Homicide Unit, along with our law enforcement partners from Maryland State Police and the City of Bowie, who worked jointly and tirelessly to determine the facts of this case. Because the pre-existing relationships between our agencies, we are where we are. There's still a lot of investigative work to be done in this case, and we're asking members of the community or anyone that may have information about this case to contact us at 1-866-411-TIPS. Throughout this case, members at the highest level of our law enforcement agencies were kept abreast of every development, and cooperative decisions were made jointly. I have no words to express my appreciation for the Superintendent of the Maryland State Police, Colonel Butler, and Bowie's City Police Chief, Dwayne Preston, for their involvement. In addition to law enforcement involvement in this case, the highest level of our governments were kept abreast of this matter. This included daily briefings with Deputy Chief Administrative Officer Melvin Powell and County Executive Aisha Braveboy, both of whom provided unwavering support for our teams who were conducting this investigation. Incidents like this affect our entire community. Ms. Braveboy's involvement in this case, for me, further reflects her passion for people and the community that we serve. On behalf of our department, I want to personally thank you for your support in this tough case. It meant a lot to me personally, and I appreciate it. At this point, I'll turn it over to County Executive Aisha Braveboy.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Chief, and thank you to all of our public safety partners who are here with us today. But more importantly, I want to thank this community. When you found out that Dacara Thompson was missing, you answered the calls of her parents and her family to help find her, to locate her, because she means so much to so many. And so it is tough that we're at this point where the search is over and justice begins. I want to thank our superintendent. I want to thank also Chief Preston, the men and women of the Prince George's County Police Department and its homicide unit, as I have repeated numerous times as state's attorney, the best of the best. I want to thank you for closing this case quickly. And now we will hand this case over to our state's attorney, Tara Jackson, to seek justice. But I did want to reflect on Dacara Thompson, young 19-year-old graduate of St. Charles High School in Charles County. She was living with her father, and part of the reason she lived here is because she was working for nonprofit Prince George's as part of her service year option that she decided to participate in, and that this activity is sponsored by our Governor Wes Moore. So this is a young woman who dedicated part of her young life to serving others, And I want that to ring home to all of you that this is a good young woman who wanted to do good for her community. And now her community will stand behind her family as we seek justice for her. I will now turn the mic over to our superintendent.
They described the evidence as strong and indicated that prosecutors will pursue the case fully. County State's Attorney Aisha Braveboy expressed concern that Hernandez Mendez had previously been arrested but later released on bond before this crime occurred. She stated that this case raises broader issues regarding pretrial detention and public safety. Governor Westmore described Rose as a bright light and assured the public that Maryland officials will use every available tool to pursue justice in her case. These statements illustrate the high level of attention the case has drawn from local and state officials. Rose Thompson was a 19-year-old from Lanham, Maryland. She had recently graduated high school and was participating in a Maryland State Public Service program at the time of her disappearance. Community members and family described her as active, dedicated, and in close communication with her loved ones. Since confirmation of her death, multiple vigils and public statements have taken place in her memory. Residents of Prince George's County and surrounding areas have expressed condolences to the Thompson family and called for justice. Her death has also raised discussions about public safety, youth vulnerability, and systemic issues related to the handling of repeat offenders. At this stage, several important developments remain pending. Autopsy results. The Office of the Chief Medical Examiner will determine the exact cause and manner of death. This report is expected to be released soon and will serve as key evidence in court. Relationship inquiry. Authorities are continuing to investigate whether Rose Thompson and Hugo Hernandez-Mendez had any prior connection or relationship before August 23rd. At this time, officials have not confirmed any such relationship. Ongoing investigation. Detectives are reviewing additional surveillance footage, phone records, and witness statements to establish a more complete timeline of Rose's final hours. Public assistance. Law enforcement has asked anyone with information related to Rose Thompson's movements on August 23rd or Hernandez-Mendez activities in Bowie to contact the Prince George's County Homicide Unit. The case of Rose Thompson began as a missing person alert and has now become a homicide investigation with a suspect under arrest. Her final known communication was a text message to her father shortly before she vanished. Less than 2 weeks later, her body was discovered off Route 50, and prosecutors now allege that she was killed inside a Bowie residence. Key questions remain unanswered. What will the autopsy reveal about the precise cause of death? Did Rose have any prior relationship with Hernandez-Mendez? Could earlier interventions have prevented this outcome? Authorities are urging continued public cooperation. Anyone with relevant information is encouraged to contact the Prince George's County Police Department. As the legal process moves forward, this case will proceed toward prosecution, where evidence will be presented in court to determine accountability for the death of Rose Thompson. If you found this story as gripping and heartbreaking as we did, don't forget to like this video and share it with others. And if you want to hear more true crime stories that uncover the mysteries behind these tragic events, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell. You won't want to miss our latest stories, updates, and discussions. Thank you for joining us on this journey to seek justice and explore the truth. Together, we can make a difference. Until next time, stay safe and stay aware.